Hello farmers, welcome back to Hazzard County. Getting ready to wrap up this day. I have done a good amount of contracts, have dug into that loan that we have going. We're getting closer, getting a lot closer. The first thing I probably should say, because if a lot of you have keen eyes, you may notice it right away. The field on the left-hand side used to have corn in it. Yeah, used to. I did that contract, and I did it myself. I actually started that contract with a harvest, course play with a harvester, and I was going to shuttle it back and forth. But, yeah, I don't want to say I had issues with course play and the harvester going along. For those of you who use course play and you do the harvester course play work, is there, I looked for this, is there like an option for, so like when the harvester is ready to unload and you go over with the trailer and you start to unload it, he'll take right back off. He won't sit there, so you gotta kind of like chase him around as you try to fill up your trailer. I was looking for an option on that, couldn't find it, so I got tired of doing that. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna harvest that field myself. And do I kind of regret it? Yeah, because it took 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's a long contract. So I got paid 40 grand for doing that contract. I have not put the extra grain that we got off the field into the silos so I can show you how much we got. Not as much as you might think for a field that big. But first things first, I do want to come on down here. If you look at our animal HUD, you can see our horses. Before we go to bed, probably require some stuff. Hay, we're down to 17%. Should take care of that quite a bit here. And yep, there we go. They're already all set. So I'll grab that back up here. And then of course, straw, water, all that stuff that I actually missed the bale with the spikes. That's kind of embarrassing. Why are you not? I keep folding you down. I pick you up. Are you not staying? Okay. Yeah, so I got hay now. That's good. I even took care of the chickens a little while ago. So they're full of wheat and barley. Cleanliness, not next to godliness over by the chickens because I don't travel over there with a bucket. And since it's not affecting their productivity, I'm like, well, okay. There's wheat on the ground there. We'll get to it at some point. I don't know in seasons if grain on the ground out in the elements actually affects it at all. I have no idea. But it's there and it's fine. As for the sheep are still getting grass or hay from their field, so they're good. Water, I gave them water a little while ago. And let's see what else on this. So yeah, on the animal front we're doing pretty good. Chickens, you can see we're almost up 300. Sheep, we are getting close to actually getting, I don't know how many sheep we're going to get, but there's a lot of sheep that are like 0.2 years away from giving us some offspring. So that may come into effect of how much that grass field can feed them. But we'll get there when we get there. So our straw bale has stayed in. So it seems like if we get below 1,000 liters on the bale, that could be a problem. But I think we're going to be okay still here because we're going to be, well, almost at 3,000 liters of that bale's left. So we're good, I think. I don't know. We'll find out next time we come here. If it's gone, it's gone. If it's not, that's good for us. So yeah, I did, like I was saying, I did a lot of contracts today. I mean, the class tractor has been going at it, fertilizing once again the whole state of Georgia. Since I was doing 2.5 hours of harvesting that cornfield. Yeah, I'll bring the class tractor back just in case there's some good contracts in the morning for fertilizing. I want him to do that because we are relatively close. As for the money situation, yeah, we are under just barely under $300,000 left in that loan. So you can look at it this way: we're $300,000 away from buying the land from Mr. Anderson. So, you know, I'm thinking we should be able to do it maybe the first day of winter, unless I get a lot of really good contracts on the last day of fall. I do have a contract we're waiting, and we're going to do it first thing in the morning, I hope, because I just realized I forgot to check the weather. So hopefully it's not going to rain. It is a harvest contract. Not our cornfield, obviously, because you don't take a contract your own field. But it's a soybean field. Now, I don't expect to get that much soybean off of it after the contract's done. So I don't know how much Tomex rations we're going to get. So I'm kind of hesitant to get cows this fall, only because, you know, it all depends how much Totemex rations we get, and the kind of cows I want to get, they're going to require, it says they require a lot of feed because they produce a lot of milk. So, you know, do I want to get into cows and then realize I don't have what I need to have to feed them? So that's something to think about. Maybe I shouldn't rush into buying cows this fall. I guess we'll have to see how the harvesting contracts do go. So I did run into a couple issues while I was doing some of the contracts. So when I brought my combine back to the main farm, we were getting kind of low on the diesel fuel, so I went up to the diesel tank to fill it up, and it kept saying refill DEF fuel canister. And I'm like, I was at the fuel pump, I'm like, oh, there's a fuel pump that does DEF fuel. And I'm like, no, it's not. Stop filling up DEF fuel. Couldn't figure out the whole situation. I tried a lot of vehicles, and even when I was walking around, it says refill DEF can. So when I had the HUD up like this in the upper left-hand corner, it said refill DEF can. What was happening was, if you remember, I put down the second DEF can right here, and I guess you can refill from one can to the other. So it finally hit me. It's like, wait a minute, can I refill cans? You sure can. So I filled one can into the other because they were both half used. So I got one can into the other, and that fixed the whole problem. Now I gas up the combine back at the main farm. The other issue I had a hard time with the class tractor and the fertilizer spreader. I ran out of fertilizer during the contract, and I went to go fill it up. I went down to Tractor Supply, and that Tractor Supply is the one over here. Where am I at? Right down here. So this is the main farm right here that we're going to have shortly. Not today, though. Yeah, the Tractor Supply is down here. Went down here to refill the spreader with fertilizer. Couldn't do it. I'm like, okay, that's odd. So I drove all the way over to here to where I always get it. Wouldn't refill. So I was thinking, okay, the class tractor, if you remember, I was trying to go pretty far on the repair. So the class tractor said maybe because of class tractor, because of repair, as you can see now it's fully repaired because I tried it. Yeah, the repair was way down to, I don't know, I think it was starting to go the other way on the needle. I'm not sure. But so I repaired the class tractor and the spreader. Still couldn't fill it up. So I don't know what was going on. And then one time I went back to harvesting for a while. And then I went back and all of a sudden it refilled. So I wasn't sure what that's all about. I don't know if anyone else ran into that. So with our animals, I was at the horses and I didn't give them water. That would have been bad. We'll just, there we go. Where are we here? Here we are. So that pretty much brings us up to date. Yeah, so if you go into the money page, so you can see down here, the loan's at $295,000. Contracts, I did $200,000 worth of contracts today. And the one thing I probably should do before we do go nutty night is, there we go. Yeah, so that's how much corn I ended up off the field, just shy of 55,000 liters of corn. And that's pretty much what I got off the field. So that contract for harvesting field 119, I got paid 40 grand for it, and I got 55,000 liters of corn for myself. Or for the farm, I should say. Which is not too bad, I suppose. So all of our animals are looking really good. They're pretty much all set for, I know it says for 2 days, but the horses, it seems like every day the horses need something. The chickens every day and a half, and the same thing with, well, the sheep is pretty easy because the sheep are getting grass from the grass field. Which does remind me, I need to fertilize our grass field again because, yeah, with the new geo for Hazzard County, the Hazzard County geo itself, yeah, that grass is going really, really quick. And the Dutz Far can stay here with the tractor. Yes, our equipment's getting real dirty, but I'm kind of waiting to buy this land so I can put down a wash station, a repair station. I also want to put down a shed here. A lot of things I want to do. But I once got told when I was a kid, it's nice to want, isn't it? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Let's head back to the house here. Not the pallet fork. Let me teleport into something I can... Thank you. I don't want to walk that far. Alright, so I don't know if I can go to bed just yet. Let's go ahead and just check quickly Today, Wednesday. Aha. No rain. Although it does say precipitation 0.4 millimeters. Interesting, but the chance of rain is 0%. Looks like there is no rain until Friday, which would be the second day of winter. What about the freezing minimum temperatures? I think we're not going to get below freezing tonight, so we should be good. Not any temperatures below freezing until, well, about roughly winter. Let's go up here. 6 o'clock at night. Can I sleep? Let's try 13 hours. Don't think that's going to be enough. Yeah, so we just barely had $1,000, and we're going to start the day with being almost $2,000 under, which is not too bad. The animals look pretty good everywhere. The sheep still seem to be getting grass and hay from their grass field. Yeah, so quarter after 7 in the morning for late autumn. Yeah, it's looking pretty dark out still. The grass is at 33%, and I'm sure the other grass is also at 33%. Although it looks like it was doing a lot better than that field is. I don't know why I keep looking for traffic when I cross here. No cars are allowed. 33% grown, so yeah, I got time to fertilize it again at some point. So the animals look good. I'm going to run back down here. I'm going to give the sheep some more water because I try to remember that every morning, although they're at 73%, so they're fine. I think we're going to wait for the sun to rise up a little bit. Oh yeah, the crops are wet. Seasons to tell me the crops are wet. I don't think it rained at night, so it must be just a condensation of the cool weather. Probably get some wet. So I gotta wait for the crop to dry anyways. So maybe I might have to do some things. Yes, we're gonna harvest field 43 for just shy of $10,000. That is for soybeans. Any other? It's all fertilizing and sowing. So our whoops, I was on the right page, ish. Sometimes a page takes a second to update. So yeah, I think we'll have to wait until the sun comes up and the crop's dry. We'll do some soybean harvest. Get that into the Tomix Rations mixer for what we can grab out the field. And see how the rest of the day looks for us. Well, here we are down in field 43. I brought the Deuce Far down with the trailer, and I've been sitting here, and it's noon. Finally at noon, the crops are dry. Yeah, we can finally get to harvesting. So I turned the speed down to ×1 just because, I mean, man, that took up half the day just sitting here doing, well, I hate to say nothing, but yeah, I pretty much did nothing. So let's go ahead and let's get everything up and running here. Harvester on. Unfolded. Well, hopefully when we bring this load up to the country store, it doesn't take much to finish this contract because I want the soybeans. Yeah, I would like some, but I don't think we're going to get as much as I was kind of hoping for. I don't even get. We're not even getting a full trailer out of this. So I'm guessing there's going to be like 50,000 liters in here when I get done. But we'll head up to the country store, see how much we get to keep. Like I said, I'm thinking somewhere around 7,000 liters I might be able to keep for ourselves. I'll leave the combine here. It's fine right where it is, right in the middle of the road. There's no traffic around here. Let's head on up to the country store and see what we get to keep. At least we'll get just shy of 10 grand for doing the contract. That's a start. Two trains right in a row that quick. I have yet to get hit by the train yet. There was a couple close calls here and there, even off camera. One of these days it will happen. So yeah, when I was doing the contract in field 119, I was kind of thinking, boy, I missed the CR 1090 with a 60,000 liter capacity in that combine. Even though the Lexion does have 18,000 liter capacity, that was filling up fast. And I was only going to the Ace Hardware store, which is right across from our little farm where our house is. So I wasn't going that far with the trailer when it was full, and I would Just hire a worker, and before I get back, I'd be like, the combine's full. It's like, already? I've only been gone like 30 seconds. Yeah, it was filling up really, really fast. But then again, that's what you get when you have a big header and you're harvesting at 12 miles an hour. It will fill up kind of fast. So the good news is about the land that we're getting ready to purchase here in the near future. I think all the fields do have a crop growing in them. Nothing that I need will be able to be harvested this year. There is one field at the end which I do believe has cotton in it, and I do believe that'll be ready for harvest sometime soon. But obviously I don't have the machinery to do that. So if the contract would come up, I would have to like lease the equipment. And I don't think leasing that cotton harvester would be worth it. I don't think I'll get enough off the field. That is if I was doing the contract. If I own the field, it might be worth it. Alright, so I gotta keep my eye on the upper right hand corner to see when the contract is completed. Sooner the better. Anytime now. Actually, we got like 10,000, almost 11. I would have had probably like 11,000 liters. I did get 2,200 for the extra I gave, which puts us above zero. So, yay! That would have been no problem. I just have to do some contracts in the afternoon hour. Probably fertilizing. The class tractor is just getting the hours on it just by going around and fertilizing every field. I mean, those are the sweetest, easiest contracts you can have. I mean, when the working width is 24 meters, and they pay quite a bit for fertilizing, for fertilizing, not fur. Yeah, it goes by real quick. Anyways, let's go put this into our mixer. Now, I remember I mentioned this before with these silos, and someone's got to remind me. I think he did tell me there is a way to see what the fill stage is on these things, see how much is in there. I mean, I guess I could drive around to where it outputs and see how much is in there, but I would think there'd be like a sign or something to be like, hey, this is how much is in here. Either I'm missing it or, yeah, I don't know. Forward a little more, there we go. And what I'll probably do, because I do believe there is some silage in the silage maker. Should be some silage in here. Grass, chaff, silage. Yeah, not much. But then again, I don't know what the ratio. Well, I mean, it does say it's 50% silage, so it should be easy to figure out. But it's late at night, and my brain's just not functioning anymore. So I'll put the rest in there. So now we just wait. It's a waiting game now. Yeah, so the only way I think I'm going to be able to know how much is in here is I would have to come like over to here. And then, so I got 88,000 liters of silage. I already got 5,000 liters of total mixed rations. That's quick. I got a lot of corn and some soybean. So if that's 25% what I need, if I times this by... so I went up with like 40,000 liters of total mixed rations. I think. Is that right? Does that seem right? I don't know. That's what I'm kind of guessing. Probably like 40,000 liters of total mixed ration is what I need. So what I'll show you what we're going to see how much we get. So I think I probably will get a cow. We'll get a cow to start with. Not right now, not in this episode. But this cow, the Holstein right here. So the queen of milk production, but we got to remember they don't start making milk until they have offspring. But they do require a lot of feed and expensive to buy up front. Well, if you're used to the base game, $17.39 is rather cheap. But produces the most milk. So yeah, we want milk makers. I'm not in the mood for doing any meat on this map. I do have that meat production like we have in the Pacific Northwest. I could put something like that down and do that. But right now, I think we're just going to be doing the milk stage. That's kind of the plan, anyways. But we're pretty much kind of set here. Oh yeah, probably should collect on that contract. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's go ahead and collect on that. The baling contracts, like I said, I wouldn't mind doing those. It just takes a lot of time to do so, and after harvesting that field for 2.5 hours, I'm not in the mood for doing that. Fertilizing is quick and easy for me. A lot of fertilizing contracts. I mean, a lot. Nothing that stands out that says go ahead and do that. But I mean, you do enough of these contracts for fertilizing for $9,000. I mean, that fertilizing field 116. Once I start that contract, actually get down there and fertilize it, I think they'll take me like about maybe 3 to 5 minutes to fertilize that field. Really quick cash. Yeah, so I'll have to figure out what to do there. So overall, the animals, like we said, we're doing good. The other thing I did notice, and I don't know what the status is on this. So, yeah, the chickens over here, I noticed when I was doing some contracts, I was checking on them. I actually wasn't lifting up the chickens and checking, but we are getting male chickens. So I don't know if they lay eggs. I mean, I know in real life they don't. But yeah, if we go into the animal hut here, there's all of our sheep. Oh man, this is going to take a while to scroll down. All right, I'll just scroll down. So mostly females, but you can see we're getting some male chickens. They won't produce another chicken, but do they produce eggs? That I don't know. So like if you scroll down to the female, it just says not fertile, which means they're not going to give us a baby chick. Yeah, so I don't know if the males are quote unquote also counting towards our egg production or not. I mean, I do have a rooster in here. Where's my rooster? Oh, there's our rooster. There's a rooster. Yeah, so, I mean, it shows, I don't know if he's part of producing eggs as well. I don't know. Have no idea. This pen requires 28,000. Yeah. That's the other thing. I need to find probably some wheat sometime soon. Actually, I got 30,000. So, yeah, I'm going to need some wheat somewhere at some point pretty soon. Or I'll have to start buying some chicken feed because we're getting more chickens, which means they require more food. Yeah, I really need to get some more contracts for soybean so I can make sure we get some Total Mix rations. So I think we'll probably get like one cow, probably sometime in this in-game day, probably like late in the afternoon. We'll probably do that just because I should have enough Total Mix rations, and we can see how much a cow actually requires for a year. That's silage, corn, soybeans. I have no idea how much is actually in there. I'm going to guess 25,000? Yeah, so I think we will end up with like 40,000 liters of Total Mix rations. That's what it looks like it's going to be. So yeah, we're coming along great. Contract-wise, if I can get a lot of fertilizing contracts done today, I'm hoping like for $150,000 worth of contracts. That will get us halfway to, well, zeroing out, which means that I should be able to borrow enough cash to buy this land. This land is 1.6 million, right? 1.626, and I do believe I can borrow almost 1.7. So as soon as we can buy the land, we'll do it, because when I buy the land, I should be able to borrow more cash, which means, well, I can buy some stuff, because I do want to put some stuff around here. Like I said, like a wash area, a repair station, because there's not a repair. I thought at first this was a repair station here, but this is where the milk will be not reproduced, stored. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for, stored. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting the cows. Don't ask me why. When I play Farm Sim, I always gotta have cows on my farm. Maybe because every farm around where I live always has cows. And these machines are already going, ready to give the cows a good back scratch. I could use one myself. Can I get a little back scratch there? Oh, that feels good. Sitting in that tractor all day long. It's like a personal massage machine. But I think that's where we're going to wrap it up for today, guys. Not much to really get on with. Like I said, I do want to get some contracts done this afternoon. And that's just me just driving around in a class tractor. fertilizing some fields, getting some more cash. But we did get a harvest in. We got some soybeans. We got some total mix rations going. So, yeah, next episode, I think we'll buy ourselves at least one cow and see how much feed they require for the year. And then we can figure out how much we have, how much they require. And then we'll probably buy more, if that's the case. But, yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching, as always. And I'll catch you next time on Hazzard County. But until then, have a good one.